Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. We have two games that are honoring the past. One of them is Shinobi, Art of Vengeance, and the other one is Ninja Gaiden Rangebound. Let me tell you, I want pixels. I don't know what it is. It could be age, right? It could be, that I grew up with that first iconic game, that just when we saw Shinobi, back in the day, we have that image, right, with Sega and how great the game was. And if you remember that first one, it had all kinds of characters before even copyright was a thing. They had everybody and their mother, and of course when it came to Ninja Gaiden, we had that iconic scene that was ahead of its time. It really was ahead of its time, especially on that console at that time, right? And this new game pays homage to that first scene that takes us back all that time ago when uh, when they fought in the grass. One of them falls. I mean, that was just great. And this game really pays homage to that. And not only that, the game itself is in pixels, and it takes us back to that time. It really is, in my point of view, what these remakes should be. I was a little disappointed with Streets of Rage 4 because I wanted to be pixelated, not this new cartoony type style. But I guess, I mean, you have to appeal to today's market, right? And if we think about it, as we're growing older, we're not part of that desirable marketing group, right? There's less and less of us. And at the end of the day, these companies have to sell units. I mean, that's, at the end of the day, this the whole game is to sell the most amount of video games possible. And in general, younger people prefer this art style as to older people in general prefer this. However, I have to say that this game just looks more beautiful. It could be that the developers, have, because of culture, a better understanding of the Ninja Gaiden series as opposed to a French developer and French artists working on this, and they're giving you their interpretation of Shinobi, right? Which is not the old Shinobi at all. And that really is the gist of it. When you look up Shinobi, right, and if you just type it in, if you don't know, let me see, Genesis. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you're a younger gamer, right, and you look at these images from back in the day from Shinobi, this is what we're talking about. And if you compare this, right, to this, there's a big difference. This one's more cartoony. Of course, this is 16-bit. To me, right, it's a better game. It looks a lot better. But that's just my preference. But it seems like many game companies nowadays opt for this aesthetic. And to me, guys, I just I'm not saying that the gameplay can't be fun, but if you give me a choice of the two, especially when you're talking about reviving franchises, I'd go with this one all day, all day. I mean, to me, it's just a more beautiful art form. It's less generic. It feels like, I don't know, it has more of a human touch. Maybe because of its imperfections, where this one seems like it could just come out of a production line. AI can produce this, right? And not that AI can't produce 16-bit like graphics, but whenever AI produces something, it's more like this than it is like this, right? And is it just nostalgia on my part? Is it just this bias that I have because I come from the 8-bit, shoot, even the 4-bit, 16-bit era? Up to 32 bits, I think stuff was great. Before we got into the 3D worlds and all that. So not that I didn't enjoy those games. Don't get me wrong. Like Mario 64 and all that. But there's just something, man. There's just something that when you look at 16-bit games, especially the good ones, um, like Shinobi, and they do this to it. To me, whoever decided to make it, for example, doesn't have an attachment to this here, right? Because if you did, right, if you had any type of attachment to the original Shinobi, you couldn't do it. You know, I don't think that as an artist, as a creator, as somebody who enjoyed the game back in the day, you could not turn this into this and feel amazing about it, right? You know, I mean, that's probably why they gave it to, you know, a French team to do it and not a Japanese team. And even in that transition, you know, it's about culture. There's certain things that you're going to know about the culture, right? It doesn't matter what, you know, what you're talking about. It's like Denzel Washington was talking one time about who could direct what kind of film. And he said it's not that a Jewish director can't direct a black film or a black person can't direct a Jewish film. It's about, you know, culture. There's certain things that you're going to know intrinsically about your culture that other people are not going to know. You know, specifically talking about Japanese culture in this case, and, you know, how much is a French person going to know about Japanese culture or art or any of those things? I mean, you can see it with a debacle with Ubisoft and all the and the horrible job they did with Shadows, right? But Sega, now in its, you know, more corporate form, if you will, in its form where, you know, it doesn't produce consoles anymore, saying that they are not a retro company. And I don't know if they, when they said that, they were specifically referring to not making pixelated games again. You know, that could be something. I don't know. But to me, guys, if you give me, you know, a choice of which game I'm going to play, which game I'm going to support, it's going to be Ninja Gaiden. You know, if I have to buy a game day one and you're asking me to buy one, it's Gaiden, Ragebound. Absolutely. I think it pays homage. It pays homage to the story. Not only that, the pixelated graphics take me back and make me feel like it's part of the same universe, if you will. I don't know if that even makes sense, but I think it respects where it comes from more, right, than just giving it generic, you know, cartoon-like graphics that any studio could do at any time. You know, this could be played on a cell phone, you know, and it still, you know, doesn't have the same personality as this, and that could be it. You know, when I see pixelated, could you play something pixelated on a phone? Yes, but it's not the norm, right? This is the norm here. This is the AI norm. This is the mass production norm. This is the corporate norm here. And just when I see this, I see a team that try to preserve the originality of the game, preserve the callbacks like this here. And this game, Ragebound, is actually a prequel as far as I know. And it starts with a father before he goes to this battle. Because if you remember, that's his dad, and he's trying to avenge his dad. And the story, you know, starts before the dad goes into that battle. So, you know, I mean, it had me there, right? And then when I saw the graphics and I compared it to the graphics of the other one, it just had me sold. Not that I'm not going to play both games, guys, but for the other one, I can wait, right? For the other one, I'm willing to wait. This takes me back to the 16-bit era, TurboGrafx 16, Ninja Spirit. If you brought that back, oh my gosh, in pixelated form, that would be a killer game. But for me, give me pixels or give me nothing. What do you guys feel? Make sure you like and subscribe if you like this kind of video. If you want to support the channel, become a member and watch all the videos that YouTube doesn't want me to show you anymore because I am in YouTube jail. So if you want to make sure this channel goes on, make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. All right, humans, I will catch you on the next one. Take care.